opportunities and contribute to the economy. Okay, something's happening here. Click. Did I press pause or something? Okay. Actually, you know what you can do is just click the whole thing down and I'll just, okay. So heritage sharing and planning. You know, that's also a very important issue here, because I think Phil had spoke about this is who we are as Anishinaabe people, and I think the thing that did happen today when he spoke was that there was a level of awareness, I think, in the room when he was very eloquently and quietly frank about some of the realities of our people. And I think the thing to recognize is that our people have been around here, and we do have a lot to contribute to local government and regions. So I think heritage sharing and planning is only going to demonstrate that as a province we're able to pull the First Nations and local governments together to brand something that I think is much needed, and making sure that we're moving forward as a collective. Mutual beneficial support initiatives, programs, and services. And I think this is one of the more pragmatic and practical issues here. A lot of our kids go up to Elliott Lake. Many of our people go to the hospitals. We are serviced by the local business community, and we definitely need to find ways to build on that and increase the effectiveness of those services. Land use and acquisition. And I think this is one of the tougher issues, and one that we've chose to deal with up front. The fact of the matter is that many of the mining communities, and some of you are from those northern communities where there's expanded geographies, there's expanded municipal boundaries in order to take in the tax assessment and ensure that infrastructures are supported by municipalities having access to those resources as well. And the fact of the matter is that there's no mining anymore in Elliott Lake, and a lot of our crown land, a lot of our traditional land is locked within that boundary. And we've looked at it, and certainly there's issues of concern there for us. So the best thing to do is let's get it on the table, let's talk about it, let's get all levels of government involved. And that brings me to the last priority, is joint lobby efforts and communications with other governments. And I think, and that's really where it gets a little bit dicey, but I think the province of Ontario is willing to work. All you have to do is look at the work that was done on the Casino Rama, the gaming revenue agreement, and you know, there's a lot of things happening out there. There's a lot of success. I'm in constant contact with ministers on a weekly basis, and they have a strong willingness to move forward as an Ontario government, and we now need to be much more courageous and much more strategic in nature in bringing forward our issues as local government, knowing that those differences exist as well. Next slide, please. Sorry. Yeah, just click right down, sir. Okay, the current issues and challenges. Cottage lot development on traditional lands. That's one of the harder issues we're dealing with right now, and we've got the Ministry of Northern Development and Mines, we've got the Ministry of Aboriginal Affairs, we've got the Ministry of Natural Resources, we've got INAC at the table. So we're grappling with those issues right now, because certainly with the huge project that Elliott Lake has embarked on in the last several years, and now the consultation, the duty to consult from the Crown says that we need to be at the table. So we're dealing with those issues. Uranium and other mineral exploration. Again, National Chief spoke about the KI issue. We definitely want to meet those issues head on. Serpent River First Nation recently put out a letter opposing any development up until the point where we have a commitment from the Ontario government that we're going to at least have some interim processes in place that recognize our place at the table. And I can assure you that I just got an email about an hour ago from Minister Gravel wanting to meet on Friday, and we're going to start laying out what some of the options are and moving forward. Building a solid foundation for future generations working together for collective success. I think that's really where we want to be. It's more of a vision type of statement, and we definitely need to recognize again that our young people have a heck of a world ahead of them, you know. And everybody in this room probably sits and thinks about that. You know, what are we leaving for our young people in the next 20, 30 years? It's going to be pretty damn tough, so we better start working together. Working on development of a joint economic development strategy and heritage plan. You know, these are some of the things that are of strong interest to Serpent River First Nation, and again, that's going to be somewhat challenging, but I think it's a broader goal that we're looking at the table. Need for adequate community consultation led by governments, First Nation and the Crown. And I think that speaks to the real primary challenge with regard to the cottage lot issue right now, and the mining issue as well. That the Crown cannot delegate its authority or its responsibility to any proponent. That duty to consult rests with the Crown, and those discussions have to happen on a nation-to-nation level. And that's some of the work that we're feverishly working on right now. There's a group of us within the various political organizations within First Nations that are really trying to work hard, not just on our behalf, but on your behalf and industry's behalf, to make sure that we're expediting something that's going to create some solutions. Maintaining soluble and insoluble realities. And the fact of the matter is what did Richard Keeley say? He said, you can jump on a pig's back, but you can't put lipstick on his face. I don't know what that means, but yeah. But basically, there's some things that are that will work together, and then there's some things that won't, and we have to recognize what those realities are. Next slide, please. Opportunities for constructive change. Basically, I'll just spin through these really quick. Economic diversification, First Nation in the city, First Nation, city, Crown land strategy. I think that's really key right now, and I would encourage all municipalities and leadership to, get a little bit innovative on this issue and put it on the table. Work with your First Nations and the Aboriginal community to look at what does it mean? What is this Crown land thing that we're all trying to grapple with? For Serpent River and Elliott Lake, tourism and Industry X, engines for wealth creation. And I think tourism is something that we believe in, low impact on the land. But also, what is Industry X? I think I had to put that in there because it's something that hasn't been developed yet, and we have some work to do. Education and cross-cultural understanding, that's pretty obvious. Create local employment training, serving the elders. Well, the fact of the matter is we have, I think in Elliott Lake, it's the second highest per capita seniors population in Canada. And I've heard that the programs and services that are there aren't up to a level of standard. There just isn't the outside supports to make sure that we're serving that population adequately. And I think what I'm saying here is that we should have some focus on serving the elders in the community and really building something together. Quality of life, responding to our environment. That's one I'll say right now that our First Nations, if we hold true to form with regard to this notion about an environment, then we definitely need to bring those values to the table. Clearing the wreckage of the past, injustice, First Nation mainstream relations, collaborative change. I know that